This is the MoCo Show Podcast. If it's happening in Montgomery County, we're talking about it. Here are your hosts, Steve Solomon and Alex Saronis.
Welcome to the MoCo Show Podcast. I'm Steve Solomon along with Alex Saronis, episode 56 of the show. Today we are at Poke Dojo in downtown Bethesda, on Bethesda Row, Bethesda Lane, in fact, here in Bethesda Row. Our friend Wesley, we've been to his three places now, Hanaro, Cushy,
and now Poke Dojo.
Now Poke Dojo. So we're very, very happy to be out here. We enjoyed the bowls. The Poke Dojo, an interesting concept, pretty unique, right?
Yeah, I mean, Poke Bowls have been popping up all over the place. This one, they have like set bowls, and they have like create your own bowls, like other places.
Choose your own adventure, but
that's right.
Poke bowls.
These bowls were big. I mean, they had plenty of meat in there, and I enjoyed it. My mouth is still on fire from this lava bowl.
You had the lava bowl with the red, spicy pepper, so you should have known better. John and I both had the Aloha bowl. Aloha. Hello. It was very good. I downed that really quick. So check out Poke Dojo here. Wesley is 3 for 3 with us.
He is, yeah.
I mean, all his places have been awesome, so we want to thank him for having us out here at Poke Dojo. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or listening on the podcast, iTunes, Google Podcasts, thank you for finding us. Whichever way you find us, we're happy that you did. So let's get to some openings and closings this week, Alex.
Yeah, so this one isn't an opening or a closing, but it's Sugar Shack Donuts are now available in Montgomery County. This is a company that started in Richmond, and it's moved up to Northern Virginia and D.C., and this is the first place in Maryland that has them. Dawson's Market on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Supplies are limited.
I guess so. There's only 3 days, huh?
I mean, they get them shipped directly from one of the Northern Virginia stores.
So I saw your story about this. I'm like, wait a second. Why is it so limited, and why are they only in Dawson's Market? That's kind of unique. It's kind of a cool thing. Like they've cornered the market on Sugar Shack Donuts, and they're sort of we had our duck story last week with them closed.
Well, there's an update.
Which there's an update on.
The update is that Duck Donuts is going to be reopening on Wednesday.
All right.
So if you want those Sugar Shack Donuts on Tuesday,
that's right.
And then you want to go to Duck afterwards.
Well, you can Sugar Shack Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can go to Duck on Friday, Saturday. Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' on Saturday and Sunday. A donut a day, right? Do students bring you a donut like teachers used to get an apple? I guess not. But,
they should.
They should. So we don't know why Duck closed. Maybe you can scoop that story once they reopen, and you can go in there. Or if I'm in there, I'll ask, why were you closed for 3 weeks? What happened? Alcohol violation, huh? Or rats health code? What went on here? No, I don't know. We don't know what happened. But now they're back open. Speaking of another place that is now back open after closing,
Far East Restaurant had a fire in their kitchen, and it went up into the ductwork, and they were only closed for like 3 weeks, but they are back open. It is the oldest Chinese restaurant in Montgomery County.
Wow, okay.
So they are back at it.
In like the Nicholson area there.
Near White Flint a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, they have been there forever. I was gonna say, when did they open? Because I remember them as a kid, and I'm old, so they've been there for a long time. But that's pretty quick, 3 weeks after a fire. I guess it wasn't too much damage, so they've recovered.
That's when you know it's real, because they're back open as fast as possible.
Of course.
It's not like one of those, we don't know, and they end up closing down forever.
I mean, that's the thing. When places close, I mean, not that Far East would suffer closure for this, because they have, as you said, have been there forever. Same with Duck. They're kind of a unique thing. But if it's a smaller place that's trying to get started and a fire happens, people just stop going there. You're like, oh, man, what happened? Because, like, the Chinese food place near me, Chin and Lee, it was there forever, like 20-something years, I think, and they closed for renovations. There was, I don't know, some sort of ductwork problem, mold. They put a sign on their door, closed for duct renovation, and it was months that they were closed. And I used to go there, and I just stopped going there. And eventually they opened up. I was like, oh, they're open again. They're the same as the other place. I'll just stick with the other place. And then they closed like a few months later. So you really do lose people, I think, especially in this kind of business where it's so cutthroat.
Sometimes they think the closing's permanent, and then they don't ever come back.
Until the MoCo Show reports that they're back open. Right. So to go back to Duck, they're safe. safe there. Go eat some Duck Donuts and check out Sugar Shack Donuts in Dawson's also.
We also have a bunch of openings. The first one will be King Pollo. It opened in Wheaton, and it's like right outside of Glenmont going towards the mall in Wheaton, so it's like that area right there by Popeyes. Bamboo Cafe opened in Rockville, and if you check out the Instagram account, they got some interesting-looking drinks. I had the Mangonada, and I had like the Fruit Lovers Che, which is a Vietnamese dessert drink.
Bamboo with a U, not O-O at the end.
That's right, Bamboo with a U, Bamboo Cafe.
Interesting
But when we say they opened, they've had soft openings for 2 different days, but they're not scheduled to actually open for another couple weeks. So you might want to check their Facebook page to be updated on that.
Okay.
And then also, Hakuna Matata Grill is opening soon in Wheaton.
What timing with Lion King coming out this
How cool would it
weekend?
be if it came out the exact same time?
That's pretty cool. James Earl Jones will be at the opening in Wheaton of Hakuna Matata, I think.
East African cuisine, and they painted the area. It used to be Magdera's Grill, and before that, something else.
Yeah.
But they painted it. It looks, completely different, and they actually sent me a message on Instagram thanking me for letting people know, and
right.
I told them I'm looking forward to it opening, and they said, we are too. We'll let you know when it does. So
Sweet.
Hopefully we can go to Hakuna Matata Grill.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Try it all out.
Some Wheaton openings. Good for Wheaton. That's my hometown there, so I'm happy that they're doing well. Time now to talk to a guest live here at Poke Dojo. We welcome a new friend of the MoCo Show, Nurit Coombe.
She's our real estate expert.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out here to Poke Dojo. We're excited to be a part of Team Nurit, as your website is, teamnurit.com. Nurit is a realtor and the #1 RE/MAX team in Maryland and the Central Atlantic region. So tell us a little about you and your experience in the realtor business here.
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to join your team.
Thank you.
The MoCo Show. You guys are fabulous. Love you. Absolutely love you. So, we have a team, and we're right here in North Bethesda. I've been in business for 18 years now. Loving life every day. It's beautiful.
So
loving Montgomery County.
You have the Facebook page North Bethesda Lifestyle, and anytime I mention North Bethesda, there's so many people they say it's just Rockville. What do you have to say about that? when they're like, there's no North Bethesda. What do you even respond to that kind of thing, or what do you have to say about that?
So the truth of the matter is that there are actually within the zip code of 2852, there are houses that are classified now as North Bethesda because they go to what we call Bethesda School District, okay? But come on, guys, be happy. It's beautiful. Rockville is amazing.
Rockville's
North
great.
Bethesda is amazing, and we live in absolutely an amazing county. So, it's
sure
all good.
do.
We love it.
North Bethesda is great. I work at North Bethesda Middle School. It's not in North Bethesda, though. It's in Bethesda.
In Bethesda.
But I work in North Bethesda Middle School, and I'm always driving up to Pike and Rose, which is North Bethesda, and I love it. It's a fun area. It's a good area.
As is downtown Bethesda, where we are here today. But you cover the whole county, right? A lot of it.
Yes.
Anywhere in Montgomery County, you need some realtor help. Call Team Nurit, right?
Anywhere, we're there.
Okay.
Absolutely. Any price range, any location.
20 years of experience here in Montgomery County, right?
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
Pretty good. So,
love it.
And so don't give us too many secrets. So what's made you the #1 real estate team in Montgomery County here?
I think it's, first of all, I have the best team. So really, when you sell real estate, and I always say that, you got to have a good heart. You got to work with your heart because you're helping people.
Yeah.
When you're helping people in the most important decision of their life and dealing with their money, you got to care for them. You got to look at the person and say, hey, what kind of house is really the best for you? And it's not necessarily how big the kitchen or whatever. It's your lifestyle. And when I pick a team member, we all screen the person and we look at the person's heart. You got to be a good person to help other people, and that's what you guys do. You work with your full self, so that's important.
And a lot of your business probably comes from referrals because, hey, do you know a good realtor? Who'd you use? Were they good? That's what everyone does when they buy or sell a house, right? I mean, I know we did. And when
I saw Nurit's numbers, it's kind of like, do you want to go with that person, your cousin's friend that sold 3 houses, or do you want to go with the person that's #1 in Maryland? Right. And it's kind of an easy answer.
Yeah, we have that all the time, and it's a tough one. But we're dealing with a very important decision, and you gotta use a person that is knowledgeable, that will care for you, that will watch out for you, knows how to negotiate, and there's a lot of things that go along with that. So yeah, it's important.
Recently, 2 years ago actually, when I was working at my last school, a report came out, and it was the radon reports for the school buildings, and my office and the nurse's office had the highest amount of radon. They put those little boxes in there. But they said that neither of them were too dangerous. You know, it was just it was
acceptable level, right?
It was the highest amount, you know. But when I saw that, I was like, oh no! So I was trying to spend as little time in my office as possible. I couldn't smell a difference. You know, it wasn't like I walked into the office and was like, oh, the radon. You know.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about radon? Because I'd love to hear more about it. I don't know much about radon.
Oh, absolutely. So this is a big issue, and people actually don't know. And thank God now it's the law that requires sellers to check for radon when they sell a house. But let me explain to you what it is. First of all, it's odorless, colorless gas, radioactive gas that comes from the ground, from the soil and the rocks in the ground, and somehow just find himself through the basement to your house, and you wouldn't smell it, you wouldn't know, but it is the number one lung cancer causing in people of non-smokers. Number 2 in smokers, but number 1 in non-smokers. So it is a huge health risk.
What percentage of houses end up having too much radon in them?
So we're still collecting the data because the law actually enacted about 2 years ago. But surprisingly, since it became a law, it used to be that we had multiple offers, nobody checked for radon, and everybody ignores it. But now we have to check for radon. So sadly, or importantly, about 50% of the houses that we check for radon in Montgomery County come elevated.
Wow. And
what is elevated? If it's above 4.0 level, that means it's dangerous. You have to remediate. So 50% of the houses come above 4.0. Some of them at 12 or 8 or 15.
So the law is you have to check before you sell your house. Should you check it while owning your house as well at every couple of years or something? Is that ideal?
So that's a really important question. So now we know that many houses in Montgomery County may have elevated radon. So you don't have to wait until you sell your house because you're going to breathe it and you're not going to know. So important that you actually buy a kit. It's $25 at Home Depot or whatever, or you can call to an inspector and you buy a kit and you test it. The thing is, when you test it, if it's elevated, you have to remediate, and I can explain to you about that. But if it's not elevated, you probably want to repeat this test every few years, maybe 5 years or so, because you know how it's the shifts in the ground. There's a little mini earthquakes we don't even feel.
Right.
Suddenly, you may have radon. Also, when it's rainy and a very rainy season, you may have elevated radon actually coming from the ground as well.
Interesting. Didn't know a lot of that about radon.
No, not at all.
The silent killer, radon,
is.
right? It
is.
It is. Like
it's
heart disease.
It's a lung cancer.
Killer.
It's a silent killer.
Does a sale not go through because of radon, or does the problem have to get fixed before the sale, or is it like, all right, well, I'm giving you $10,000 less because it has radon?
No, so that's a great question. So, the good news about radon, that as scary as it is, you can remediate, and remediation is not that expensive. Well, depends what expensive means, but the way we remediate, there's EPA-approved companies out there who would install a fan that goes under your gravel that airs under your slab in the house, so radon will not come in actually to the house. That fan installation cost about $1,200. And then they're going to retest. So the good news about that once they test for the radon, and once they install the remediation system, you guarantee that you will never going to have radon in your house as long as the fan and the system is working. So that's the one thing that you need to remember.
Sounds good. Is there anything else we need to know about radon?
Yeah, I mean, for buyers and sellers, it's kind of important. So the law requires sellers to do radon testing and provide the result to the buyers. if they own a townhouse or a single family. Okay? If it's a condo, there's no requirement. But townhouse, single family, they require. If a buyer elects to do a radon inspection and contingency in the contract, then the buyer does the inspection, the seller doesn't have to do. But if the buyer does not have a contingency, the seller have to provide the testing. But here's the key. When you're a buyer and you say, oh, I'm not going to do it because the seller going to give me the results, the thing is you can ask for remediation if it's elevated. You can actually come to settlement and seller will give you, oh, here's the radon testing. It's 12.0. It's elevated. Enjoy breathing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you probably should have a testing.
Interesting. So I didn't know that about radon.
Me
Interesting.
either.
So Team Nurit does a lot of other things for you, the things you might not think about that would give you an advantage in selling your home. I didn't even think about things. Videoing, photography, a lot of things to make your house look the best for sale. So we've all seen like Zillow or Realtor where there's 2 pictures of a house. Like, what do I know about this house? So that's something you guys do as well to really help you sell the house. Huh?
Yeah, what makes us different is that really in my team I have director of marketing with 2 assistants, and we do the marketing we do in terms of social. I mean, you have to remember, most of the buyers will start the search online with and without an agent.
Right.
99.8% of the buyers. So you gotta reach the social media, the people online, and not only reach them, but you have to reach them in a smart way. You have to actually apply it to their heart to get that feeling that they want to see this house. So when we look at pictures, and I sit with my director of marketing, I sit with Christine, we'll look at the pictures and say, which one will grab your attention? Because, you know, we all kind of ADDs now, and we all look at millions of houses, and we kind of scan very quickly. But also, I'm an Israeli, so I love technology.
Oh, okay.
And I will tell you some other time, but we do a lot of technology stuff. We state-of-the-art in terms of how we do online the strategy for social media, but also we have video books, so it's a video brochures where we give buyers, and nobody has that. We also have Alexa for open houses, and it's a really cool feature. So we'll talk about it some other time.
For sure. Yeah,
Cool.
we're going to have you back on. You're our real estate expert.
That's right.
So, we'll have you on plenty.
So you should check out Nurit, learn more about her. Team Nurit, Nurit.com, and on all your social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, look her up. Team Nurit. If you're thinking about selling your house or looking to buy, check out Team Nurit. See if they're the right ones for you. They're number 1 team in Montgomery County, so the results prove success, though. So check them out, teamnurit.com. Nurit, we're happy to have you as part of the MoCo Show, and thank you for coming out today.
Oh, thank you. Excited to be here. Love you guys.
Thank you. Well, we're here in Bethesda right now, and there's a mural, a new mural at the Bethesda Library.
Yes, there is. I saw this posted by our friend Andrew Friedson, council member, guest of the MoCo Show recently. And there's right here at, I guess, Connie Morella Library now, formerly Bethesda Library. They have this cool new mural, and it's dogs and cats with books. And it's very... not simple, but it's cute. I was like, that's a cute idea. Local artist, Catherine Freeman was her name, painted it, and I'm sure kids will love it. It's just a cool addition to the library. Not that libraries are boring on their own. They're very exciting places. Inside those books lies magic, Alex. But I thought that was pretty cool. It's a cool addition. We talked just last week about art in the county, how there's lots of stuff out there. You just have to find it, and there's always people looking to do new things, and you want to paint a mural somewhere, ask the planning board. They might let you go do it. Or if you got a sculpture you think would look cool somewhere, ask them. They could find a place for it. You'll even get a council member to come out and take some pictures and show that it's out there. And it's a permanent thing for generations now. People will look at that dog and cat mural that Catherine Freeman painted at Bethesda Library.
And then some sad news.
Yeah, sticking to the dog world. I saw this story, and I was like, oh, no. So Max, the canine officer, passed away. Max was part of the Gaithersburg Police Department.
How old was Max?
Max was about 12, I think, I believe. He had retired, though. He was not on active duty. He was 9 years, I think, from 08 to 17. He was a police dog for Gaithersburg, and he probably sniffed out a lot of drugs or missing kids, whatever he did over the years.
What a good dog.
Good old Max. He was a German Shepherd, I guess. All of them are in the police line. There are not many Chihuahua police dogs, although that would be cool if you saw a little, because they are intimidating. My Chihuahua would, when she starts yapping, she would intimidate people. Maybe not as much as a German Shepherd, but I think that was cool. So Max was a beloved canine for 9 years. He retired a couple years ago and went to live with his partner, his human partner, from the police force, which I think most of the time that happens with canine police dogs. They're like service dogs with people. They become so attached to this officer that they stick with him, of course. And he enjoyed his retirement, I hope, this last couple of years, and gave us some good service. I saw this posted, and there's some old pictures of Max from his active duty days when he was on the force, and now he's passed. So we're sorry for Max the canine. It's very sad.
Well, let's talk about a little something happier.
Yeah.
There's a block party going on. It's a MoCo block party.
MoCo block party. So there'll be some dancing, some lights, some food.
It's going to be a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
DJ and I love MoCo is it's an organization that's just trying to spread some good. And they reached out and they asked if I'd be able to share their block party. It's going down in Germantown. I think at Waters Landing Park on the 27th. So if you're in the area, check them out. Love MoCo on Facebook, RSVP. Let them know you're coming.
Yeah. Another thing I saw that I thought was cool. I've always told you how much I like all-you-can-eat places. As a fat guy who eats a lot, I love all-you-can-eat places. So another one has popped up that it's here in Bethesda. George's Chop House is introducing an all-you-can-eat option.
Yeah, so at lunch, you can have prime rib, as much of it as you want.
Wow.
Now, all right, so that's a good idea because you get people in, and how much prime rib can you actually eat?
It's like Red Robin's endless fries.
Yeah.
It costs them like 10 cents in fries because no one can eat more than a couple of plates full of those things.
Two baskets, maybe three
you
tops.
You get so much like what's the Olive Garden? All you can eat pasta. I mean, how much pasta can you eat? You get pretty full after a while. It's not like all you can eat shrimp, which you can pop them forever probably. But yeah, it's a cool idea. Prime rib is a heavy meat. So, but good idea for them, and we got to check that out. We see what we can do. We can have an all-you-can-eat MoCo challenge there.
I also actually we're doing a contest right now on Instagram. Another buffet.
All right.
It's our buddy Billy at Trapezaria.
Yeah,
Trapezaria is how you say it in Greek. But he has a lunch buffet, and it's like $14.99, and you go.
Very reasonable.
And it's literally there are so many items there, and I on Twitter I show a whole video.
I saw the pictures.
There's pictures on Instagram, and we're giving away two lunches. You and a friend can go and eat as much Greek food as you can. And they also have like chicken parmesan and stuff like that. So it's not just Greek food; it's like food in general. And when I went over to take the pictures, Billy was like, "You want to eat?" And I was like, "Of course." So I tried it myself, and it was amazing. Sorry, Orange Theory.
All right. So another more all-you-can-eat places. I mean, Indian places are mostly all-you-can-eat during lunchtime, and I guess it's a Greek thing too, because Kava does the brunch on weekends, right?
Yeah, all-you-can-eat brunch.
And now Trapezaria does that as well, and George's Chop House here in Bethesda. So more all-you-can-eat places. That's what I want.
We also got the Purple Line delayed again. Of course. I mean, I knew it. It's not like they're going to just be open in a couple years. There's nothing down there. I mean, it's not going to just be ready in
It takes
2
time
years.
to build a new metro, I imagine. So the launch date was initially March of 2022. They've acknowledged they'll not be ready by then. They're pushed it to August of 2022 was a temporary one. And Colesville is going to start being closed. Like they're going to take one lane there to close for a while because of the Purple Line.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make August 2022 either. But you
never
who
know.
knows? It would be cool if it did.
Construction, there's two things about it. It costs a lot, and it's always delayed. That's just how it is because stuff takes time. And developments develop that complexify the issue.
There's two people on Twitter that are anonymous. One is MoCo Joe Soap. I don't know if you saw this person.
I did with
Jill.
With Jill,
with
yes,
Jill, yeah, and
I did.
He's a guy that he replies to a lot of.
It's you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's me. He replies to a lot of people's tweets, and he opposes them for the most part,
right?
And he's I don't know if he's rude, he's making his point, not in the nicest way. So there's this guy, and people are trying to figure out who he is, and the MoCo Show's gotten word as to who it is. We're not gonna say
not
it here.
Out him here. Okay.
No, but then there's another one. Did you see the Officer Juwan Twitter?
No.
So apparently someone made an Officer Juwan Twitter,
boy.
and he's replying to Will Jawando's tweets.
Okay.
So I don't know if Will Jawando's blocked him since, but what he keeps saying is something about Will Jawando having applied to the police force and
I read that as well. I haven't asked Will if he actually did that or not. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, I saw that as well. That people have said on social media that he has an axe to grind with police because they rejected him. I don't know if that was true. I read that just a few days ago, and I haven't seen Will since. But it's been a tough time for a couple of our council members. Our friend Evan Glass, during
dealt with a lot of harassment.
Pride Month, he is openly gay. Said that he had a lot of unpleasant things either emailed to him or called to him. And as has Will. I mean, he's been open about his opinions about police issues.
Absolutely.
And he and his staff, I know his chief of staff, Cecily, she's very nice and very smart. I'm sure they're not pleased about the response that has come to him either.
I would love for these people to just kind of be found out, because saying something is one thing, but hiding behind a fake account is another thing. If you truly believe something and you feel like you have good points to make them with your name.
Right.
You don't make a fake name and start starting. You're basically starting trouble.
As we've seen on many levels, social media is a powerful tool that can upset a lot of people. But, I mean, you use it to tell stories and to report news on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I use it to promote myself. That's the only thing I really use social media for. Is I'm a nobody, so why not try to tweet and Facebook stuff about me and try to do all I can to, get more people's eyeballs on stuff that I'm doing. So that's what I use it for. But other people use it as their sounding board. I have this discussion with Steve Zabin all the time on the show because, he hates Twitter, he hates social media, he'd eliminate it all if possible, but he's on it. And he's got 50,000 followers, and he's like, I can't get rid of it because, my boss would be super pissed off if I stopped tweeting. And I'm like, what? We don't need Twitter. We have a radio show. We can say whatever we want anytime we want for 3 hours every day. And we have this podcast to say what we want. And but other people don't have that. So I guess when social media is your only outlet, this is my snowball I'm throwing at people from social media.
As much as I complain sometimes about the comments I get or the messages I get, I love every second of social media.
I mean, the fact that someone hates me, I think is awesome. This guy sucks. He take him off the radio. He's crazy. He says horrible things. At least he's listening. He's listening to me every day. It's great.
A lot of people lead awesome. with I'm very disappointed that you're, and then they say what I'm doing. I'm like, wait a minute, you're saying that a big thing is I'm disappointed at the lack of insert random country representation here. And I'm like, I don't even know food from that country. They're like, I'm sad that you haven't posted food from Iceland yet. And I'm like, where do I even get food from?
I don't know what Iceland food is.
And obviously I'm just using Iceland as an example. No one's actually given me any flack for that. But people will say things like, it's really disappointing that don't let that disappoint you. If I don't have food from Iceland, don't let it get you down.
The one time we do have food from Iceland, you can be appointed, not disappointed.
Exactly.
You can become very happy. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Hopefully we can go to Bamboo Cafe.
Yeah,
Enjoy their food. Kakuna Matata. Food from everywhere.
Yeah, though
We both love all food.
I do. I know.
mean, that's the good thing.
Well, people like say this, send me messages saying this stuff, and like I don't know if they think I'm going to reply with, "Ha ha! I hate that
You're
country."
right. I hate
like,
Iceland. Always have.
Ever since the Mighty Ducks 2 matchup, where
Reykjavik, that place is a dump. I mean, let me tell. No, I don't know.
Like it's just weird. Like I tweeted from my personal account the other day, like a message this guy sent me on Instagram, and he said, and I had done 2 Wheaton posts in a row. And he just replied and he said, "Why are there so many posts about Wheaton?" And I was like, "Well, I was in Wheaton today. That's why." And there was 2. Like, it's not like I'm just saying, this week is Wheaton week, where I'm only tweeting
Wheaton
about.
is better than wherever you live, sir. Whatever it is.
It's like, is that what he's expecting? Like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
Yeah.
There's one topic I wanted to touch on.
Sure.
An author wrote a book about like a MoCo in the future.
Right.
Like a dystopian universe.
The After Days, it was called, about, and it was set in like Pike and Rose area, and had references to Montgomery County. It was this lady, Amy Ginsberg. She does the Friends of White Flint blog. Corresponded with her, I think, on that. And she wrote a book, her first novel, and she's from here, always lived here. Why not set it here? So it made me think of, are there any other books set in Montgomery County? Well, I'm sure there's plenty that have references about Montgomery County. But
one of those video games where you walk around shooting things is like, which one? Fallout. You can walk around like Bethesda or something, right?
Wow.
And it's made by like Bethesda software, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Rockville. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the big, huge video game company, so I'm sure they might set other stuff in Bethesda, too. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, in one episode, I was walking around, I walked into Poke Dojo, and
I
I ate, my character ate a Pokeball and then walked back out.
And I had to go fill my meter, because it's only 2-hour parking in the Bethesda parking garage, so, oh man, what a tragedy.
There's a video game about filling your meter.
There probably is.
And you can't run out of money.
You know, these, what are they, role-play games or first-person games? I don't know. Johnny, you're a big video game guy, I guess? Okay. Because I haven't been a video game person in a long time.
I'm buying Madden. I buy Madden every year.
Really?
I do. I still buy it.
Isn't it almost exactly the same year to year?
Yes.
I
but
never
here's the
understood
thing,
that.
You can't update the older ones anymore. So, like, it's not like if you have Madden 2015, I could just play with Haskins.
Oh, okay.
Like, he's not in the game.
Right.
I'd have to create him. And,
Wow.
like, but it's not just him. You know, he'd be playing with, like, the O-line from 2015.
Oh, okay.
So,
but as far as like changes, I remember when I was like young and played video games, like Madden in the '90s. It was a little different. Like the video game was like, new features on Madden from last year. This and this. Like, oh my god, I gotta get this one. And eventually, like by 2000, I remember like, there's nothing different. There's like, of course, it's updated rosters, new features, including one new play on offense, the different schemes and stuff. Hey, it's still me, doing the Madden. That
boom.
guy. Hey, boom. Hey, run into this guy. Hey. But I was like, it doesn't change much anymore. Because, I mean,
what else can they do?
I don't know.
Aside from, like, you running the route.
Yeah, I mean, they put new players in. They put a new person on the cover. Who's on the cover of the new one? Do you know?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, really?
No. Pat Mahomes.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Yeah,
Pat
that makes sense, I guess. But
Lamar Jackson was on this fake new NCAA game that came out
really?
2 years ago. Yeah, it didn't really.
Lamar Jackson's on the cover of like the localized fantasy football magazines here, which it was funny because the one Scott, my co-host, came. He bought the.
Oh, they're out already?
Yeah, they're out. It's the DC version.
Yeah.
Is Lamar Jackson, and in the corner is like a Redskins logo. It's like so. Even here in DC, it's like that, which is kind of interesting. All right, well, we want to thank Poke Dojo for having us out here today. Our guy Wesley, with his fine new place here on Bethesda Row, where you can make your own bowl, build your own bowl of Poke Dojo. We had the Lava Bowl and the Aloha Bowl, delicious stuff. And thanks to Nurit, we're part of Team Nurit now, #1 realtor in the area, and she's working with us here on the MoCo Show. So we wanted to thank her and remind you that. Radon is important, and you can get a discount on your Radon system work if you go through Team Nurit, which was interesting. So check her out, teamnurit.com. All the features that she has to show you why her team is the number one RE/MAX team in the area and the number one real estate team in Montgomery County, based on her numbers, which are incredible. So that's pretty cool. So thanks to them, and we'll talk to you next week.